Hello everyone. Today in this video I will be discussing schedule changes for the Long Island Railroad starting this weekend, as the railroad will be testing new signals in Queens this weekend, and more importantly the new schedules that will be starting on Monday the 26th and will be lasting all the way till May 20th. And also, I will be talking about the MTA improving millions and millions of dollars in major subway station improvements for 8 stations. So, with the intro getting out of the way, let's go to the Long Island Railroad first, and then I will talk about the subway station enhancement project, which was, of course, designed by our Governor Andrew Cuomo. First up, we're going to be reading an article from Newsday with regards to the signal testing that will be taking place in Queens starting tonight. So the situation taking place will be that the railroad is testing the new signal system in Queens. Testing will start to affect train service from about 10 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m. Monday morning, so that way the railroad can accommodate passengers for the on-peak train starting at 6 a.m. and of course going into 10 o'clock as usual. Basically, the article said that the railroad urged riders to check special timetables on their website at web.mta.info/Long Island Railroad, LIRR/timetable. Pretty much a brief article. And to summarize it, they say the new signal system will be put into use this spring at Herald Interlocking, a web of 14 railroad tracks where several Long Island Railroad branches intersect with Amtrak's Northeast Corridor at Penn. So, I don't know what the conspiracy theory is about Patrick Nowakowski. Maybe he's trying to make it up to the customers after seeing how bad the railroad's performance was in January. And thankfully with me, with regards to the railroad, I didn't have any problems. I only took one Port Washington train last month, and pretty much majority of the time I just take the train to Jamaica from Penn. That's only the quick mention I want to bring up. So other people, I understand on-peak's always the problem, but I always keep my rule to running off-peak, because off-peak I never have a problem. Maybe it's one rare problem, but that's pretty much it. So they have the schedules for the project in Queens, of course. Schedules are on the website. And also just a quick reminder that the schedule that we are currently on, put it in a full screen, schedule we are currently on for this timetable until Sunday. Turns out the new schedules for the Long Island Railroad are starting on Monday. Remember that, Monday, the 26th, and will be lasting until May 20th. So hopefully by then the Long Island Railroad will finally get its issues with Amtrak settled. Hopefully the Amtrak project will be complete by then. Amtrak claimed it would be finished by May with regard to the tunnel. And the winter of hell, I will say this, it continues. It will continue to go on, unfortunately. Maybe the whole thing about March coming in like a lion, maybe the railroad will make it up to us. I don't know, because again, it's Nowakowski. Maybe they'll make it up to us and say that we'll treat customers like lambs around Easter week, which is, of course, the railroad's probably going to add more trains on March 30th for holiday service. I would hope that they would do that. But then again, more people in Babylon get service. But schedules are here. I urge you, if you are a regular commuter, to please check out the schedules. I don't care what branch you're on. Just be aware that there's a new schedule starting on Monday. So please bear in mind that this is very important. And if you don't know what's going on and you're used to the schedules like I am, chaotic things can happen. Not chaotic, but just be prepared. That's all I'm going to say. And lastly, we're going to talk about the MTA approving more than $200 million in cosmetic improvements for 8 stations. And this is certainly interesting news. I will say that. Despite pushback from city officials, the board approved the construction contracts for the subway station improvements. So this is certainly interesting. I'm trying to pull it up in full screen, but the computer will not cooperate. There we go. We just had it. I can't put it in full screen, I apologize, but this computer, I swear. There we go. Renovations are planned for the 23rd Street and 57th Street stations of the 6th Avenue line and the 28th Street and 145th Street stations along the Lexington Avenue lines. So to give you an idea of the lines, if you're not familiar with them, basically the MTA is going to shut down during the construction the 57th Street station on the F. That's only along the 6th Avenue line. The 28th Street station, which I don't know why they're not... Oh, here we go, 23rd Street. I read it wrong. The 23rd Street station, I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's no 28th Street station on the 6th Avenue line. I double-checked. Yeah, the F also goes to 23rd Street, but also the M goes along that way. And thankfully, if I know my situation, the most express way to go into Barclays Center is to be taking the B from Manhattan. The D, yeah, the D also goes to Atlantic Terminal. I know that, but yeah, I probably would take the D because the D is more express. I just want to quickly mention that. I am looking at my map. And then you have, of course, the Lexington Avenue line. And the Lexington Avenue line only serves the passengers on the 6th. The 6th is the local line. The 4 and the 5 usually run express. That is a important factor that I have to bring up. The 145th Street station is, of course, in... I'm making sure, because I thought I had it. If I can't get the 145th Street station, I want to apologize on that. That's odd. I can't seem to find it. I'm looking at my map at the same time on my phone, and I'm wondering, where is it? Okay, let's move on. Two Penn Station stations for the A, C, and E of 1, 2, and 3 lines will be refurbished. It will be the only station out of the 8 approved to not close during renovation. So let me highlight this part because it's important for me as well, because Matt Camper was, of course, talking about this. I actually remembered him talking about this on one of his Periscope streams. And if he's watching, I hope he's seeing the highlighted part that I just showed. Thankfully, the MTA made the right move to not close the stations, but it's gonna look terrible. If you're taking the 7th or 8th Avenue line, that's not going to be good. And I've seen videos of the Hicksville station on the Long Island Railroad looking like a mess. This one's not going to be good. That's for sure. But at least the good news is if you need to get to New Jersey Transit or the Long Island Railroad by the subway, you're still going to be able to access Penn, and you're still going to be able to access Madison Square Garden as well. So at least the MTA made the right move. My only problem is I wish the governor would improve the Union Turnpike station in Kew Gardens, because the governor only cared about the Bronx and Manhattan. Well, the governor's being selfish and not looking... Maybe the governor should come to his native homeland of Queens and see how outdated the Kew Garden station is. Okay? There needs to be a lot of work done on that station. Not just with the signals, not just with the tracks. Also, more importantly, you want to give the Kew Garden station a fresh look, because that station serves thousands and thousands of people every single day. You can't be selfish to them. Probably millions for all I know. Also on the Upper West Side and in Astoria, the MTA will also be temporarily closing some of them for up to 6 months, including the 110th, 86th, and 72nd Street stations on the B and C lines. And more importantly, the stations in Astoria will be closed are the Astoria Ditmas Boulevard, 30th Avenue, 36th Avenue, Broadway, and 39th Avenue stations in Astoria. So my concern is what's going to happen to people in Astoria during this track work. They're not going to be able to access any subway stations. That's not good. A lot of people in Astoria rely on the N and the W, and they also rely on the M and the R. I don't know what they were thinking. It's bad enough on Tuesday you had that issue with the signal problems that lasted for 2 hours. Look, all I'm going to say is that, look, I get that they're not going to close the station in Penn Station, but again, I know I'm being a little bit greedy about Kew Gardens Union Turnpike, but another station that certainly needs work is Jamaica 179th Street. Another station should be Jamaica Center. That should be another station that should be improved, and maybe Suffern Boulevard. You know, that's an important station as well. I don't know why they're not improving those stations. MTA, I'm shaking my head. I'm wondering, the governor has gotten to you, and you know, if he claims he loves New York so much, then why doesn't he care about his native homeland of Queens? Because this governor is from Queens, and he doesn't care about it. He's only putting Manhattan as a top priority, as it seems, and he's screwing people in Astoria by not giving them subway service during this work. So, there you have it. That is the update I'm going to give. Let me center it to give a good ending. That's the update I can give with regards to the latest news with the MTA, with regards to the Long Island Railroad, and with regards to the subways. And more importantly, I'm going to be reading up on how people in Astoria are going to be dealing with this problem, because I'm going to be speaking up for people in Astoria. I really, really am, because they're the victims at the end of the day, getting manipulated by the MTA. They're not going to have any subway service at all during this during the station renovation project. And as I said, 34th Street Penn, you gotta keep that station open. Penn Station's there. Madison Square Garden's there. You can't close that station. It's gonna look ugly, but they have to get the work done. And hopefully, with this 6 months, they'll hopefully get everything improved. I want to see Penn Station improved in the short run, but in the long run, maybe we can speak up and get Union Turnpike and Jamaica Center and Jamaica 179th improved. So that's where I end it. Just remember to read up on the Long Island Railroad schedules if you are a daily commuter or you're planning to take the railroad this weekend during the signal testing in Queens this weekend. And until next time, take care.